Hey guys, my name is Dave McGuire here on the Ramsey coaching team. And in this video series, we're going to talk about 5 fears that coaches have to overcome. Now, before we jump in, you may be wondering, who the heck is this guy? Well, I'm a Ramsey coach on Dave Ramsey's team, but before I worked here for 6 years in Georgia, I launched my own coaching practice, coaching as a ministry and then a side hustle and eventually into a full-time coaching career. So in the previous video, I do share my story, so I encourage you to go back and check that out. So fear number 1 of the top 5 things that coaches have to overcome is this fear of charging people who are struggling with money. Listen, I get it. That sounds a little weird, but honestly, it's not. What we know is that there's a myth out there. No one can afford coaching, especially people who are broke. The truth is, people pay for coaching every single day. And we know, our research shows that people who pay attention. And money always follows priorities. You have a service that you're offering the marketplace. You deserve your wages for your service. The Bible even teaches about that. But what you have is a training, a skill set, knowledge, passion, and even experience that other people are indeed willing to pay for. Why? Because you have what they don't have. You have that guided plan to financial peace and financial freedom. And they're willing to pay you for your time to learn and get that result that their family so deeply desires. And let me tell you the facts, by the way, because again, we're talking about the word fear. And the Bible says, I've not given you a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. So let's think critically here and actually use the facts. The facts is that the average American family is spending $200 a month in subscriptions. Okay, it's a lot of subscriptions. The average American family is also eating out $400 a month. Now think about this. How are broke people paying $200 a month for subscriptions? They're prioritizing it. How are broke people paying $400 a month for Chipotle and Chick-fil-A? They prioritize it. So all these places, they don't have a problem charging broke people. Netflix, Hulu, Sling TV, all the things, they charge broke people every single day. And broke people are willing to pay it because they see it as a priority. You and I know as coaches, it's not a priority. These things are not impacting and changing their family tree like you will be as a financial coach. So I want to give you a different perspective. Think about for a second the fitness industry. Okay, there are millions upon millions of free workouts on YouTube. Now let me ask you, how many of those workouts did you do this morning? The same as me, probably 0. But guess what? If you and I got together and we said, you know what, we're going to hire a trained fitness coach to pay them $150 for an hour session tomorrow morning at the gym, guess where you and I are definitely going to be? At the gym, our shoes tied tight, we're going to be stretched, ready, we're going to be doing all the reps, and we're going to feel a little proud after the fact because we had some skin in the game, right? We had some buy-in, and it's going to give us confidence, feeling like we're taking back control of our life because we put our money where our mouth is and we got something great out of it, right? A great workout. It's the same thing with this financial coaching. People are willing to have that buy-in. They actually want that buy-in because it feels like they're taking control back of their budget, but they have to have some skin in the game. So again, priorities always follow money. You've got to figure out in people's budgets, what are they prioritizing? I'll give you one quick example as we wrap up. So when I do a consultation call, let's just say it's with Bob and Cindy. They're a great young couple and they love each other and they just are arguing about money constantly because they don't have their budget dialed in and they have a lot of debt that they're drowning in. Here's the truth. When I meet with Bob and Cindy and I share with them how I can help them produce the results that they want, which is what everyone wants, freedom, and they say, you know, Dave, I see the value in your coaching. I just can't afford it. Well, what I do is I lean in for a second and say, okay, Bob and Cindy, I understand. Maybe you don't think you can afford it. How about this? For the remaining time of our consultation call, how about I ask you just a few detailed questions about your budget? Would that be okay? They always say, sure. And I say, well, once I ask you through these questions, I'm going to kind of calculate some expenses. And how about this? If I can't find my coaching fee inside your budget, how about the first session next week is on me? They always say, wow, that sounds great. Thanks, Coach Dave. No problem. And guess what I find? Every single time, subscription after subscription, they have multiple debts. They're eating out all the time. They're literally eating their paycheck. I always find the money in their budget. Now, the rare occasion that I may not, I coach them as a ministry opportunity. And we always say that where there is no ministry, there's no margin. We have to charge appropriately for people that can pay, because sometimes you may get a single mom. Sometimes you may get a widow, and God pulls at your heart to say, hey, you should coach this person for free. Absolutely. We encourage you to do that. So to wrap up, one of the top fears of our top coaches is charging people who are broke. The reality is people who pay attention. People that have skin in the game, people that have some buy-in, they take it more seriously. In other words, they're going to take the game more seriously when they have skin in the game. And we want to encourage them to have that moment of being proud to say, you know what? I'm taking back control of my life. I actually am telling my money where to go, and I'm going to invest it in a coach that can guide me to what I really want. The result is freedom. So thanks for tuning in today. Now, tomorrow, we're going to have another video. So be on the lookout in your email for that, where we're going to talk about another fear for our coaches to overcome. We'll talk to you soon.